Hey guys, July 3rd, 2012. Wanted to make an updates video. I know it's been a little while since we made one, but I figured this would be a great time to make one because tomorrow morning I wake up and fly to Colorado Springs for the first ever US Open through USA Ultimate, and I am just beyond excited. This is awesome. Those of you guys that don't know, on Friday morning I have a presentation at the NSCA, the National Strength and Conditioning Association. We're going 7:30 to 10:30, and we're calling it Maximizing Athletic Performance. And this is really just a dream come true for me. This is I can't believe this is actually about to come into fruition, because this is what I've been working towards, and I am just so thrilled that I get to go out and do this on Friday morning and be a part of this amazing event, this first ever US Open. This is going to be huge for our sport, and so many of my great friends are going to be there. This is just, you guys can tell, I'm stoked. So, you know, you guys that watch these videos have been so supportive to me, and I wanted to tell kind of the story of how this event, why I'm presenting at the US Open this weekend, and what I'm going to talk about, and why this is just such a dream come true for me. I think that if I tell this story, you guys will kind of understand a little more of who I am and where I come from and why I do the things I do. So here we go. 2008, I was the captain of Salisbury University Buzz Ultimate, and Buzz Ultimate, it was my life. Like, growing up in high school, I was always a leader, always an athlete, and there I was, 2008, I had a whole team behind me. They were loyal, they would do anything I say, and I knew I wanted to do the best job possible. I wanted to have the best team possible, and I wanted to be the best player possible. So, in order to do that, in order to be better at a sport, you got to train, right? So, I get on the internet and I'm like, training for Ultimate, and there was nothing. It was like, maybe, jog around a track a couple times and that's going to make you a better Ultimate player. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. So what I did is I went to the smartest person I knew about strength and conditioning, and that was Matt Nye, the head strength coach at Salisbury University. And Matt was just so empowering. He was like, oh man, yeah, it's such an athletic sport. You guys, you can do this and develop this program and that program. And he became my first mentor in strength and conditioning, and I fell in love with the idea of creating these programs and training this team. So that's exactly what I did. I ended up taking a class and interning with him and just asking him so many questions, and he taught me so much. And during that time I was able to develop strength and conditioning programs for my team, do all the speed, agility, warm-ups, all the conditioning, everything that we needed to do as a team out at the field, and then I had the bulk of the team in the weight room training. And I was good at coaching, I was good at being a leader, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do. About that same time as I was coaching and interning with Matt, I'm like, wow, you can make a career out of this. This is awesome. This is who I am. So skipping over a couple steps, graduate Salisbury, move to Florida, get CSCS certification. Through a couple simple twists of fate, I end up getting a graduate assistantship at the University of Northern Iowa. So I move out there at the end of the beginning of 2010, and I'll have to tell that story another time. That was absolutely amazing experience. Jed Smith, my most significant mentor by far. But that first summer that I was there, I guess this is actually 2009. The summer of 2009, living in Iowa, decided to go to Colorado for the summer, and my goals for going to Colorado was, one, to play Ultimate, and that's where I met Jimmy Donnellan and all the Colorado Springs Ultimate crew. Hike as many 14ers as possible. That was successful. We got up 7 of them. And 3, to learn as much about strength and conditioning as possible. So the world headquarters for strength and conditioning are in Colorado Springs at the NSCA. So I show up one day at the NSCA. I'm like, hey, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I want to learn. I've read your textbook. Just can I do some sort of internship? And they're amazing there. They're like, absolutely. So my second day there, Katie Kroll, who's in charge of internships, is like, hey, today Coach Boyd Epley is going to take you through and give you kind of a tour of the strength and conditioning of the NSCA and answer any questions you guys have. And I'm like, Boyd Epley, oh my gosh, you know, he is one of my heroes. This guy is the founder of the National Strength and Conditioning Association. He's the first ever paid strength and conditioning coach. He built a dynasty in strength and conditioning at Nebraska. He was their strength coach for 40 years. His story is amazing, and he's given us as strength coaches, he's given us our profession. And it's kind of funny because, you know, he gave us a little tour, and then we're up in his office, and it's me and a couple other interns, and he goes, hey, you know, do you guys have any questions? And I had just got done taking a history of strength and conditioning course at Northern Iowa during my first semester at Northern Iowa. So I knew the whole history. I knew everything about Coach Epley. And I'm like, there's so many things I wanted to know. I mean, this guy's a complete progressive thinker, complete revolutionary. So, you know, he asked if anybody has any questions, and I'm like, I do. And I ended up getting to talk to him for about an hour afterwards, and we just through asking him a lot of questions and getting to know him and him getting to know me, he offered to let me work with him for that summer. So 2 days a week during that whole summer, I got to intern under Coach Boyd Epley, and that was just amazing. He turned out to be such a profound mentor for me, and absolutely amazing. So one day that summer, there was the Grandmasters Championships for USA Ultimate up in Denver, or maybe it was Boulder. But so I drive up to Boulder, and I'm sitting there on the sideline watching, I think, a dog game, and I see Will Deaver. I'm like, wow, that's Will Deaver. You know, he's one of the best players in the country. He's a chain lightning player. He was, you know, he's a does a lot of awesome things at USA Ultimate. Like, I gotta say hi to him. So I go up and I say hi to Will Deaver, and I'm like, hey, you know, I've got all these ideas. I've been training, you know, Ultimate players at Salisbury at Northern Iowa. You know, why is it that, you know, we don't have any norms for this sport as far as performance testing? You know, we can do this, we can do that. And Will's like, oh, absolutely, we can do this and that. And long story short, Will was so empowering to me, and he hooked it up where I got to write articles for USA Ultimate magazine, where I got to go and work at the national championships, try to create norms for the sport. He hooked up a lot of really awesome gigs that have been huge for me in my career. And in 2010, I met Tom Crawford at the 2010 USA Ultimate Club Championships. I remember we were sitting there at the VIP party, or you know, a little barbecue afterwards, and Tom was sitting over there by himself. I'm like, that's Tom Crawford. He used to work at the U.S. Olympic Committee. This guy's done huge things in sport. Like, that's a guy I need to have a relationship with. So again, I go over and I sit beside him. We end up having a great half-hour conversation about some of the stuff that we can do. And through talking with Coach Epley that first summer, through talking with Boyd Epley, or Will Deaver, and with Tom Crawford, some of the things that we always talked about were how we can foster a relationship between the NSCA and USA Ultimate, the governing body of strength and conditioning and the governing body of a sport on the brink of explosion. And now, on Friday, guess what's going on? We're at the NSCA. I get to present about everything that we've learned about training the ultimate athlete. We get to share that information at the National Strength and Conditioning Association to everybody who's attending this USA Ultimate Conference. So here it is, 2012. This was just 3 years ago that I met Will Deaver and that I was interning for Boyd Epley, and now on Friday it's coming into fruition. So you guys can see how this is just a dream come true for me. This is awesome. So Cool thing is Friday morning we've teamed up with the NSCA, the head strength coach Scott Caulfield, and he's going to help me do the presentation. He's going to present on the strength and power part, and I'm going to do the speed, agility, flexibility, SMR, all that sort of thing. And to kick this all off, get this. Boyd Epley, Coach Epley, one of my first and most significant mentors, is introducing the presentation. So 7:30, he'll be the first one up, and I still remember sitting in his office a couple years ago saying, hey, you got to watch this sport, and breaking out my computer and getting out the Ultra Village DVD and popping it in and be like, look how athletic these guys are. And he's like, wow, these guys are athletic. He made the comment that they're moving like football players, we're being explosive, and I'm like, absolutely, that's what this sport needs more of, is these guys need more strength, more power, and we've got to do this. So if you're going to the USA Ultimate Open, I hope you can be there. I hope that little story puts into perspective, you know, why I do the things I do, and why I'm so excited about this stuff. And a couple morals of that story. I like to kind of give some takeaway information when I do these little updates. Be bold and persistent. I mean, the reason I'm flying out tomorrow, and the reason this is coming into fruition for me, is because, you know, I went to Matt 9 and I developed a relationship with him. I raised my hand after Coach Epley asked if we had any questions, and I developed a relationship with him. Will Deaver standing there on the sideline, I didn't have to say hello, but I did. Tom Crawford sitting there, I said hello. I was bold, and I've persisted that this is what I want, and we could do big things in this sport on the strength and conditioning side of things. I've persistently done that, and I've gone to the people that can make it happen, and I've boldly said hello. So if you guys want anything in life, that's what you got to do. You got to go to the best, and you can't be afraid of being rejected, because these people that are successful, like all those people that I just listed off, they will be more than happy to help you. Anytime I get emails right now from young guys wanting to do what I'm doing, I am so thrilled to help them, because it's awesome. The next thing is learn and share. The way that I have really, everything that I've learned through these past 4 or 5 years of learning everything that I can about strength and conditioning and applying it to the sport that I love, the way that I've done that is by every time I've learned something, I've shared it. I just, you know, learned some new ladder drills. I'm going to share these with my team and see how they react to them. It's always learn something, share something. That's why these blogs, these video vlogs, and these blog posts and all this stuff that social media allows us to do, that's why these are awesome, because they allow us to share our passion with the world, just like I'm doing now. And the last thing is, you always hear this quote, I think it was Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in the world. For me, 2008, training for Ultimate, nothing came up. There's got to be something. I'm thinking in my head, I mean, this is the most athletic sport I've ever seen. There has got to be something about training for Ultimate. But there's nothing. Nobody's ever done it. Well, I'll do it. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's what drives me to do a lot of the stuff that I do, because I'm going to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I hope that helps. If you guys are at the US Open this weekend, come to my presentation. So many of my great friends are going to be there, and I can't wait to share ideas and learn from all you guys too. I know there's going to be a ton of awesome minds, progressive thinkers, and I just can't wait to get together with everybody and see where we can take this sport and see what we can do. So comments, questions as usual, make sure you like, make sure you share, and we'll see you guys on Friday hopefully. See ya.